Good morning. It's time for another edition of Bacon in Your Jammies. Today we're going to be making chocolate zucchini cake. Chocolate zucchini cake is yummy. It's just a rich, almost a fudgy cake. With that addition of the zucchini, it makes us feel like it's healthy. And I make mine in a Bundt pan. And this is zucchini time. So if you have a garden and you have zucchini planted in your garden, you have plenty of zucchini and you are wondering what to do with it. Well, chocolate zucchini cake is a really nice alternative to zucchini bread. So our cast of characters today are a cup of butter, that's 2 sticks of softened butter, a cup of brown sugar, 3/4 a cup of white sugar, 2 eggs, a teaspoon of vanilla, 2.5 cups of flour, 3/4 a cup of cocoa powder. Not to be confused with hot chocolate mix, but cocoa powder. And then baking soda, baking powder, salt, and then we're going to add sour cream. Now, sour cream, alternative, if you don't have sour cream, you could certainly use yogurt, or you could also use sour milk, like buttermilk, or take your milk and put a little bit of vinegar or lemon juice into it to make it sour. But I'm going to use sour cream today. And then 3 cups of shredded zucchini. Now, the zucchini, our zucchini gets away from us. And so sometimes you've got these nice little tender zucchinis, and then the next thing you know, you've got these boats. So you can use either of them. If you're going to use your big zucchini, cut out the seeds that are in the middle because you don't want those seeds in your cake. And then you're going to shred it. Now, I shredded mine today just using my hand shredder, but you can do it in a food processor. And I like to leave my skins on because I like to be able to tell that there's zucchini in there. And then I just put mine in a strainer and let it drain. I don't squish the water out of it or squish it through paper towels because then the cake gets too dry, and you want that moisture and that fibery good parts of the zucchini to be in your cake. So that's how I do it. And then I also add chocolate chips. So that's the cake. And then we're going to glaze it with a ganache, and we've made that before with just our whipping cream and our chips. So this bakes at 350, and again, I'm going to use a Bundt pan, but you could use layer cakes, or you could do it in a 9x13. You could also add nuts to this, but I'm going to leave mine plain today. So I have prepared all my dry ingredients. So I have my 2.5 cups of flour, my 3/4 a cup of of cocoa powder, a teaspoon of baking soda, a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And I'm just going to mix this up, and then I'm going to set this aside. And so that's our dry ingredients. Then I have taken my butter, and I have 2 sticks of softened butter, and I'm going to add my sugar to this. So I've added a cup of brown sugar, and I'm going to add in 3/4 a cup of white sugar. And then we're just going to cream this together. You just want to make this till it's fluffy. Alrighty, so we've got our sugar and our butter mixed together, and then we're going to add our eggs one at a time. And as every baker knows, one at a time is a good idea because you know what happens? One breaks, one gets ucky, you put it in there. So one at a time is a safe thing to do. And we're going to add that in and mix it in. And then add in number 2 egg. Oops. See what happens? Then you get the shell in there. Alrighty, take your shell to get your shell out. Shell sticks to shell. Alrighty, so we've got our 2 eggs in there. And now we're going to add in our teaspoon of vanilla. Oh, gosh, how vanilla smells so good. Alrighty, now we're going to add in our sour cream and our flour mixture a little bit at a time. So we're going to alternate the additions. And so I'm just going to add in, I don't know, a cup or so of the flour. Do it on low. And then I'm just going to spoon in a dollop of the sour cream. And speed it up a little bit once it starts to get incorporated. You just don't want to turn your mixer on high because that flour and cocoa mixture will fly all over you. Alrighty, a little bit more. Probably in about a third. I'll mix that up. Alrighty, and then our last third of our dry ingredients and the last of our sour cream. Okay, we're going to mix that up until it's smooth. And then we're going to fold in our zucchini. It's drippy. Again, the zucchini, once you shred it, it's going to start to leach that water out of it. So some recipes call for you to take and squeeze your zucchini, or get the water out of it. We just want to do it enough while we're preparing our rest of our ingredients to just take that time to strain out that little bit of water. Okay, this looks really nice and incorporated. And now I'm going to just fold in. So I'm not going to use my mixer here, but I do want all that good stuff in there. Ooh, it's nice and thick and yummy. Okay, I used a zucchini that was about, I should have shown it to you. It's in the picture. So it was a fairly good sized zucchini. And I'm going to put in that 3 cups. And I used my fine grate on my grater. If you like it coarser, you can certainly, grate it up coarser. Alrighty, now this gets a little bit more moist with all that zucchini in there. So we're just going to fold that all in. When I say fold, I mean taking your spatula and literally folding the ingredients in. You don't want to, stir this or mix this too hard. Okay. And then we're going to add in the good stuff, the chocolate chips. I'm using dark chocolate today because that's what I have, but you can use semi-sweet. You can use mini chips. Alright, so half cup of chocolate chips and fold those in. And then I have my Bundt pan prepared. Now I have one of these silicone Bundt pans, but you could use, again, any pan that we talked about earlier. Just prepare it by greasing it. You can use your spray, Pam spray stuff, whatever that is. And, oh boy, is this going to be good. Okay. Now we're just going to spoon it in. Spoon it in. It's not a spoon, it's a spatula. I guess we're going to spatula it in. And it's thick. All right, this is going to go in a 350 oven, and we're going to bake it for 50 to 55 minutes. You just want it to come out clean with a toothpick when you're checking it. And then we're going to cool it for about 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes when it comes out. Then take it out of your Bundt pan and let it cool. And then you make your ganache. And the ganache again is you're going to take the half a cup of heavy whipping cream and you're going to heat that up just until it's ready to boil. You don't want to boil it. And then you take that hot cream and you pour it over your 3/4 cup of chocolate chips. And you let it set for about maybe 30 seconds or so until that chocolate melts. Then take your whisk and just whisk it all together until it's a lovely frosting. And then we're gonna glaze that over the top of your cooled Bundt cake. Alrighty, that's ready to go in the oven. It's gonna go in again for 50 to 55 minutes at 350. Okay, we're back to frost our cake. This morning's episode got interrupted by a hockey game, so we're gonna finish this up quickly. So I've got my Bundt cake here on a pretty plate. It came out beautifully from my pan. I have my chips ready to go, and I'm just waiting for my heavy cream to come up to temp. And then we're just gonna pour that over our chocolate. Again, I've got dark chocolate chips today, but you can use whatever chips you want. And it's a half a cup of heavy whipping cream and 3/4 cup of chocolate chips. So I think my milk is just about ready. Oh yeah, perfect. So just before it comes to a boil is when you want to take it. And we're going to just pour it here over our chips. And then we just let that melt for just enough time to get that chocolate melted. Yummy. Alrighty. And as that's melting, we're going to just whip that together. And then you can let it set for just a few minutes. The longer you let it set, the thicker it will be. And this just makes a lovely, it's called a ganache. Super easy. And as you can see, oh boy, does that smell good. Just a lovely, shiny chocolate. Alrighty. Oh, yummy. Alrighty. I think it's about the consistency that I want it to be here. And you're just gonna then just drizzle over your cake. And yummy, yummy, yummy. So that's it for chocolate zucchini cake. Let me know how yours turns out. There we go. Enjoy.